It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. I need my credit when I'm popping shit. Shift the game like I'm driving stick. Money piling my wallet. Thick numbers looking like scholarships. I'm out here bit. Hurricane season. Send me overseas. Get a bag and I'm leaving. I'm back with the reason. I'm a rapper supreme. Like burritos on a rap for the vegans. Back to attack, make achievements. Nigga fuck a flag for religious. I put on a mask and I'm thieving. All black with a skull cap and Adidas. Insufficient funds. Fit that 150. Nigga get it done. Feeling big as pun. Industry critics don't like me. What you gonna do? Should night me? Swimming upstream so Pisces. Got the Gucci on me so icy. All the floozies. When it comes stand by me, 7-Eleven is getting too dicey. I be killing y'all nigga with the flow. Notorious big, I be kicking in doors. Leviticus niggas get spiritual, call me the bishop. I'm watching y'all decompose. I don't really need no ops, I don't need no props. I'ma sink my shot like swish. I'm a Gambino, looking for a freak hoe, pink flamingo box. Everybody wanna know the recipe. I got my flow in the Chesapeake. I'm a SOB from the A, but my style on Texas Pete. Yes indeed. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Unfortunately, music itself has not been in the conversation for a second. So we're going to be following up on this whole Pooh Shiesty Gucci Mane situation, okay? So word has it that Pooh Shiesty actually will be going to court tomorrow to figure out how he's gonna be, dealt with moving forward, whether or not there will be a bond or anything like that. They're gonna let him out pre-trial, how the charges are gonna hold up moving forward with the state, all that good stuff. He's probably fucked based on his past and the fact that he was still on probation and still on house arrest and all that good shit with the ankle monitor. He's probably fucked. But as more information is coming out regarding this situation, it does seem like it's less of an open and shut situation than originally thought, right? Y'all know last week I did videos talking about this incident. We read through the paperwork. We saw where Gucci Mane helped identify who Pooh Shiesty was by both his rap name and his government name and photo of his likeness. Some people say they wouldn't call that snitching. That's fine. Has nothing to do with me. Right? We talked about it. I talked about in my previous video with the whole Offset and Lil TJ thing, why I see it differently, not because it's my standard, but because of this street oath that he's abided by for decades, right? All that being stated, even though his name was in the paperwork for the federal complaint, Big30's lawyer, and Big30 is one of the people that was arrested in this robbery, kidnapping situation with Pooh Shiesty. His lawyer has come out and said that Gucci Mane will not be cooperating any further. So when it comes to court, when it comes to testifying, when it comes to coming into taking the stand, they're saying that Gucci Mane is not going to do it. And he says that that can actually possibly change the course of this whole situation if Gucci is not willing to come forth and give his account of what happened during the day, that evening that he was robbed, that evening that he was confronted by Pooh Shiesty, his father, and a bunch of other guys. Number one, to get a contract termination for his record deal, and number two, to come up off all his jewelry and belongings that he had on him, including cash at the time. His cameraman was robbed for his jewelry. Multiple people were taken for valuables, right? So now things get a little interesting. Pooh Shiesty's dad, he's also gone through the process as well. They had given him a bond, but that looks like it's been revoked. He will actually have to remain in custody in Texas until this thing gets ironed out. So let's get into everything we have on the table as of now. So here it says Pooh Shiesty's father ordered to stay in Texas custody for now. Previously, an order was made to give Lontrell Williams Sr. a pretrial release, but prosecutors say they intend to file a motion to revoke the order. Okay? Memphis, Tennessee. Pooh Shiesty's father will be kept in Texas custody until further notice in relation to the case against him and several others allegedly involved in the kidnapping and robbing of Gucci Mane. Previously, an order was made. We gave that. The court agreed to keep Williams in custody until the judge rules on the prosecutor's motion or provide another ruling. The United States Marshal Service is set to transport him to the Dallas Division of the Northern District of Texas. A federal judge ruled that there was probable cause to support the case against Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, and the other defendants accused of kidnapping and robbing Gucci Mane. Prosecutors presented their case against Pooh Shiesty, his father, Big 30, and the 6 other defendants in a detention hearing on Friday, April 3rd. Big 30, whose legal name is Rodney Williams Jr., and Pooh Shiesty's father, Lontrell D. Williams Sr., were among the 5 defendants scheduled to appear in federal court in Memphis. Pooh Shiesty is currently in custody in Dallas, Texas. According to the prosecutors, Gucci Mane and 2 other victims arrived believing they were there to discuss business with Pooh Shiesty, who was signed to Gucci Mane's record label. Prosecutors claim that when Pooh Shiesty asked Gucci Mane to speak privately in a studio, the other defendants came in and closed the door. Big 30 is accused of barricading the only known exit and allegedly recording what took place inside that studio, such as perhaps Pooh Shiesty pulling the gun. We don't know, but we do know Big 30 allegedly did have his camera out once Gucci Mane agreed to sign onto the release papers and also gave a verbal agreement to let him go on camera, right? We do know that part, which is in the federal complaint. Pooh Shiesty is accused of holding Gucci Mane at gunpoint and forcing him to sign paperwork releasing him from his contract. Prosecutors allege that the defendants also stole Gucci Mane's wedding ring, earrings, cash, and watch. One of the suspects, identified as DeMarcus Glover, is accused of choking one of the victims and stealing his watch, wallet, and AirPods. Prosecutors argued that while Pooh Shiesty's father wasn't a primary participant in the robbery, he has an extensive criminal history that includes kidnapping, drug, gun, and other violent charges, and he was an accessory. He actually was the one who rented the car to take his son down there to take part in it, which is crazy as fuck to me. I wish my daddy would co-sign some shit like that. I really don't. I'm just saying. So yeah, initially Pooh Shiesty's dad was supposed to get out on bond. However, that was overturned until further notice. Okay? Now, let's get to Big 30, who they were just alluding to. Actually, I do think his dad is on house arrest. Big 30 here was granted a $100K bond, but placed on home detention in Pooh Shiesty case as well. They say Big 30 is able to get back to rapping as a judge, granting him house arrest in a highly publicized Pooh Shiesty case. Rodney White Jr., better known as Big 30, learned Monday that he can avoid jail for now, but his freedom comes with major restrictions. The Memphis rapper, identified as one of Pooh Shiesty's alleged co-conspirators, was granted a $100,000 bond during a federal court appearance. However, the judge made it clear his release would come with strict supervision. Big 30 was ordered to remain on home detention, although he would be allowed to continue working while under court supervision, a decision that could allow him to maintain his music career while the case moves forward. Now, me personally, I've never heard a Big 30 song in my life. Don't plan to hear one, but if he's able to keep recording it, hopefully the people who listen to him will be satisfied. They say as part of the conditions, Wright will be placed under electronic location monitoring and restricted to travel only within West Tennessee, except when required to appear in court in Dallas. The court also issued a no-contact order prohibiting Wright from communicating with any co-defendants connected to the case, so none of that, hey, what we gonna do, what's gonna happen? None of that. He will remain under the supervision of federal pretrial services. The restrictions go even further. Wright is also prohibited from possessing firearms, clearly, or illegal drugs, and must submit to regular drug testing while out on bond. The developments come as federal authorities continue building their case connected to Pooh Shiesty's recent legal troubles. While details continue to emerge, the case remains active and unresolved. And again, Pooh Shiesty himself will be heard in court tomorrow. Now let's get to the part that's interesting to me, because why is Big30's lawyer coming out talking about Gucci and what he plans to do? That's interesting to me.
Memphis rapper Big30 is now on house arrest after he was charged along with Pooh Shiesty last week on kidnapping and robbery charges. But Big30's attorney says that he expects to appeal. Fox 13 told you this morning that a judge in North Texas ordered Pooh Shiesty's dad, Lontrell Williams Sr., to be brought back to Dallas after he was also granted house arrest in Memphis. Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live downtown at the federal court. Kayla, it was a packed courtroom for today's hearing.
Yeah, Darcy, and a number of them were family members, loved ones, supporters of Big30. Ultimately, a judge decided to assign him a $100,000 bail amount.
Hey, man, on some funny shit, man. Why this nigga look like a mix of Big X the Plug and goddamn Sean Kingston? You see this fucking photo here? My God, I'm sorry.
With standard bond conditions like a curfew as well as an ankle monitor. But I heard from his attorney, Arthur Horn, who tells me he's expecting an appeal soon.
Here's a young man that has turned his life around and is trying to make something of himself, and unfortunately has gotten himself caught up in a situation that has nothing to do with him.
Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big30, was given a $100,000 bail by a federal judge with standard bond conditions. But attorney Arthur Horn says the fight to keep him out of custody isn't over.
Going to file an appeal, and they're going to appeal the judge's decision, and we will have to have another detention hearing in Texas on the same facts, just like you saw today.
Wright is one of 9 men facing federal charges stemming from the alleged kidnapping and robbery of rapper Gucci Mane and others in a Dallas recording studio in January. One of Wright's co-defendants, Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., or Pooh Shiesty, was signed to Gucci Mane's label 1017 Records. Prosecutors say the incident started when the rapper asked to be released from his recording contract, and Gucci Mane said no. Horn says Big30 has nothing to do with that.
He has no interest in whether Pooh Shiesty has a contract with 1017 or he doesn't. They're going to make music together regardless.
Horn says he's ready to see how this case plays out in Texas.
I think the interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
I haven't seen Gucci come out and say that.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy.
That is Fox 13's Kayla Solomon reporting live downtown tonight.
Now that I find very interesting. Now remember, if you can remember the federal complaint that I read on here few days ago, they had gotten into contact with the guy that ran the studio. Called him up, let him know, hey man, we coming, we got a meeting, blah, 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 we gonna do some music. Whoop-de-doo. No Young Thug. Right? Took a while before they actually opened up the studio for them to get in. They were there for a while. They went and got a whole contract printed up at Staples. You know what I'm saying? The whole shebang. The camera footage that we've seen that's in the complaint that surfaced online, that's been in all of these news reports, is from a nearby business, also in the same lot, in the same business building. So when we see guys approaching with big bags and shiesties and hoodies and all black clothing, all of that camera footage is from that other business's cameras. Now they're saying that there were no active cameras actually filming anything inside this studio. They didn't say that there were no cameras in the studio. They say they have no footage from inside the studio. Now, I'm not an investigator. I'm not a PI. I don't work for the motherfucking police. I don't want a badge. But it sounds to me like there may have been a request for that to be the case. Did I read that? No. Was I told that? No. It's just what it sounds like when I hear them say there was no active camera footage rolling. But we got so much other camera footage that happened just before they all went in the studio. So again, this does not sound like an open and shut case like it did the other day, because now we don't have any evidence of an actual crime. Gucci Mane and his people allege that something happened to them. We do have people from Pooh Shiesty's team posting with money, jewelry, etc. on social media after that happened. But perhaps there could be some sort of alibi as to why they have these items. Now, as for the person who had an air tag on their stuff and was able to track them down, perhaps his items will be used to leverage that there was something taken. But I don't recall Pooh Shiesty actually taking his items, right? So now that will boil down to the other suspects and what they took from Gucci Mane's cameraman or whoever this guy was to him. If Gucci Mane does not come out and say, hey, they took my watch, they took my money, they took my earrings, they took my wedding ring. If he doesn't come out and admit that Pooh Shiesty held him up at gunpoint, this could be a situation where Pooh Shiesty gets a slap on the wrist. Well, no, I wouldn't say a slap on the wrist, but a situation where he gets a lesser charge or lesser sentencing simply for violating his home detention, right? Because he wasn't supposed to be in Dallas to begin with. He was supposed to be at home in Memphis. His PO called him up while he was outside setting up the studio session and said, yo, what are you doing? Where you at? I never signed off on you to have permission to be there. You need to go home. Subsequently, Pooh Shiesty did not. He proceeded to go through whatever happened inside that studio. He proceeded to stay in Dallas overnight. He proceeded to then go home the next day. His counterparts, co-conspirators, co-defendants, whatever you want to call them, decided to take the Greyhound. I say decided loosely, right? Because the car that they traveled out to Dallas in was mysteriously stolen the next day. So we'll see how all this thing plays out. So we do have Gucci on paper, but he says, allegedly, that he will do no more. Now, when it comes to a subpoena, we'll see how all that goes moving forward. Again, this is just a lot of crazy stuff going on under the guise of hip hop as of late, man. Be sure to let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to also like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good out there. Y'all be safe out there. Love on your family, man. Watch your back. Stay vigilant. Stay prayed up. I'll see y'all in a minute, though. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'll never politic and the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5-6 bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your health care. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy cause consulting for the stacks I built. I had to evolve and grow, cause I couldn't.